Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com, and today I'm going to teach you 3 ways to perform harmonics on ukulele. So we actually just watched the first way, which is creating harmonics by tapping. And by the way, if you want to learn the song that I played, Mr. Sandman, you can click that link right there. You can learn that song with free tabs and try out the really cool interactive tab player for free. I'll link that lesson in the description box below as well. But the big question remains, what are the other 2 ways that we can create harmonics? Well, let's take a look. So in this video, we're going to learn how to do natural harmonics. We're going to break down the mechanics behind executing the technique, as well as learn an exercise to help you get it down. If you want to learn the other 2 methods for performing harmonics, check out our brand new course, Technique Toolbox. So you can click this link right here or go to the site rockclass101.com and do a search for Technique Toolbox. And on that page, you'll find that everything is neatly organized in a simple to follow manner. First, you're going to learn how to do the technique. Next, you're going to learn multiple exercises that help to deeply embed the technique into your playing repertoire. Each exercise is tabbed out and accompanied by an interactive tab player. Now, this is a really cool feature where you can hit play, watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really great asset in getting these new techniques down that much easier. And finally, you're going to put it all together to perform a unique take on Amazing Grace. And what makes it unique? Well, the entire song is performed using harmonics. So we're actually going to release it as a standalone lesson next week. But if you're watching this video in the future, then it's already out and you can click this link to check it out. It's super duper cool. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into learning natural harmonics. So in this lesson, we're going to be breaking down the mechanics behind doing natural harmonics. So as you guys read in the course overview, there are 2 types of harmonics. There's natural harmonics and artificial harmonics. Now, natural harmonics, as the name implies, are harmonics that occur naturally via the open strings. So there's no left-hand fretting that's required, nothing in that nature. And therefore, it makes these harmonics the easiest to play, and generally, they are everyone's first step into playing harmonics. Now, there's one other thing that we do need to recap that was taught in the course overview, and that's this. If you take a look at the tablature here, we can see that the note is encased within a diamond, so these little brackets like that. That's going to be your dead giveaway that you are to be playing that note as a harmonic. So keep that in mind as you're going through this course, that you look for the diamond and that tells you, hey, this is a harmonic. Now there's actually only 3 steps to perform natural harmonics. It's actually really, really quite simple, but getting the feel correct, so getting comfortable with what the left hand is supposed to be doing, that is a little bit tricky. It's almost like riding a bike, right? It takes a little bit of work, but once you get it, you got it for life. So that's probably the best analogy I can give you for harmonics. But let's go ahead and learn this first one that we have here. So first thing we can see is that it's the 12th fret on the 1st string, and it's just 1 bar, a bar of half notes. So we're just hitting this harmonic note 2 times. Locate your 12th fret. Most ukes will have it as a double dot, so just find the fret with the double dot and boom, 12th fret. And first thing you want to recognize is that every fret is encased within 2 fret wires. So if I lay my middle finger completely flat here on the 12th fret, you can see that the 1st fret wire is to the left of my finger and the 2nd fret wire is to the right of my finger. Now, it's really important that you always play harmonics. They require you to play over the 2nd metal fret wire. So you always have to play over this fret wire, not the 1st one, or else it won't sound out. So always look for this 2nd one. So you can lay your finger flat across that 12th fret, almost like a bar chord, right? And just visualize and recognize that there's the left fret wire, there's the right fret wire. So anytime you play harmonic, it always has to be over the second middle fret wire. That applies for natural and artificial harmonics. So I want you to take the tip of your middle finger, go ahead and place the tip of your middle finger over the second middle fret wire of the 12th fret. And I want you to barely touch the string, okay? This is the same amount of force as if you were to do a muted strum. You barely touch the strings, because if you push down, it starts to sound really bad, right? So don't put any pressure other than barely touching the strings so it mutes. And you can practice that right now, because if I push down, it's going to sound like that. But if I don't push down, we're starting to hear a little bit of that harmonic, right? So first step, with the tip of the middle finger, place it directly over the second middle fret wire of the 12th fret. Barely touch the string, so lightly touch the string. And you're going to pluck. We can use the index finger of the right hand. And then we're going to lift our middle finger up. So lightly touch the string, pluck, lift your middle finger up. When you lift your finger up, it's going to allow that string to resonate. So go ahead and hit pause, and I want you to practice that a little bit. What you're getting used to is the correct feel, so the correct amount of a light touch, plucking, and then lifting up. So light touch is step 1, pluck is step 2, lift up is step 3. And when you put it all together, you create a beautiful harmonic. So hit pause, practice that for a second. So as you progress through this course, you're going to see that we're playing harmonics on 2 additional frets. So that's going to be the 7th fret and the 5th fret. Now, there are other frets that you can create harmonics on, but generally, 9 times out of 10, when you encounter a harmonic in a arrangement, they're either going to be on one of these 3 frets, with most of them falling on the 12th fret. So the 12th fret is going to be the easiest ones to produce, but as we jump into the exercises that involve 7 and 5, we'll talk a little bit about why the other ones are a little bit more difficult for getting a clear harmonic to ring out. So once you feel comfortable with getting that first string harmonic ringing clearly, then go ahead and jump into exercise 1, and I'll see you in that lesson. So for our first exercise, we're going to be playing harmonics straight down the 12th fret, beginning on string 4, and eventually ending up on string 1. So that time you saw that I used my index finger, and I'd actually recommend you guys to try this exercise with first, second, and there we go, third finger. So you want to practice this with these 3 fingers. Don't worry about the pinky. That's generally a finger we don't use to create harmonics. But you want to try this exercise with these 3 fingers. And as you practice this exercise and the next couple exercises, you're going to start to gravitate towards one of these fingers being the most comfortable for you to use. For me, it's the middle finger. But you've got to try all 3 out to figure out which one feels the best for you. And I would say most people tend to use either of these fingers. So most likely it's going to be your index or your middle that you feel most comfortable with. But try all 3 out, because it's also good for us to get used to creating harmonics with all 3 fingers, because you never know the context of the music you're playing. We've had some arrangements on rock class that did quick jumps up from the beginning of the neck to the 12th fret and then back, and sometimes that would call for the ring finger. So even if you favor the middle, we still want to get comfortable using these 3 fingers to create harmonics with. But let's go ahead and jump into this exercise. Now, it's pretty simple from a rhythmic standpoint. We can see that it's just quarter notes, and the last hit will last the second measure. But don't worry so much about trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4, hit the last hit. Right? The key thing here is for you to focus on creating a clear sound for each harmonic. So take all the time that you need in the beginning, and I'd actually recommend to start this exercise by just doing the fingertips. So what we talked about in the mechanics breakdown the previous lesson. Just start with the fingertip and then work your way down. And that is going to give you a lot of practice with doing one harmonic at a time. But the key thing with this exercise is that we want to really get to the point where we are playing all 4 of those strings in rapid succession. And if we have to move every single time, that's going to be a little bit tricky. So eventually what you want to do is you want to lay flat, almost as if it was a bar chord. See if we can get a little clearer. So you can see how much less movement it requires if I lay flat, like a bar chord shape. Now you do notice too that I am moving slightly down as I play these harmonics. So it's not like I have to stay completely stationary. You can move a little bit down because you'll have more control in the tip of the finger, the top tip, than you would have down here. But this can be a little bit tricky, so you definitely want to just hit pause and practice getting comfortable with laying completely flat. And laying completely flat is vital to get that last hit, which is a little strum, to create that harmonic chord, which sounds really, really cool. So with this exercise, begin with just fingertip, work your way through, use all 3 fingers, but then lay flat. You can move slightly down as you go through it. And for that last hit, you want to work on strumming. So I'm just going to take the thumb, I'm going to strum down. And as I strum down, you can see that this finger starts to kind of lift up, almost like this movement, this motion, where it comes up like that, right? Because remember, the key with harmonics is that we lightly touch, we attack, meaning we pluck, and then we lift up. It's really important that you lift up because that string has to vibrate. So we don't want to keep our finger held there because it interferes with the ability to vibrate freely. Okay, so this one's going to be the hardest one. So just lay perfectly flat over that second metal bar of the 12th fret. And after you strum, you're going to lift up. Now, once you get comfortable with getting every harmonic to ring out, you do want to try to put it a little bit more so towards that time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. All right, so very simple rhythms, quarter notes. So let's give it a shot. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Okay, so practice really, really slow. Work on getting every single harmonic to ring crystal clear. And then again, put all of your focus towards this last one. And the trick is really just laying completely flat and timing it perfectly. So I'm touching all 4 frets and I strum down and then I lift up once I'm done strumming. So it's all about timing with these harmonics. So work on getting comfortable with the muscle memory to create a clear harmonic for each hit. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed these lessons. If you want to learn the other 2 methods for performing harmonics, you can do so by clicking this link or going to the site rockclass101.com and doing a search for Technique Toolbox. So the mechanics breakdown lessons that teach the other 2 methods for producing harmonics, they are taught completely for free. All you have to do to access them is sign up for basic membership, which is 100% free. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed these lessons and I look forward to seeing you in the course.